In this video tutorial, we are going to cover the functions of the edit buttons and the drop-down menus in storage. Here we see our expanded storage tree, and the edit buttons and the drop-down menus each have a different function depending upon what level you're at in your storage structure. We are going to start in our edit menus, and we are going to work our way from the bottom of the tree at the specimen level all the way up to the freezer. Highlighting your specimen, move over to the right and select the edit button that corresponds with that specimen's entry in the tree. Here in the Edit Stored Specimen menu, we see a 2D representation of the box. The current position of the specimen is highlighted in purple. All occupied spaces will be highlighted in light gray, and any excluded spaces will be highlighted in black. You can adjust the position of the specimen either by clicking within the image or choosing a new position from the drop-down menu. Any changes you make, click the Save button. Clicking the Edit Specimen button at the top right-hand corner will open the Edit Aliquot window from Specimen Management, and this allows you to edit the specimen record without the need of finding the specimen in the Specimen Management module. Any changes that are made within this menu, click the Save button and close. Moving up one level to the container, click the Edit button that corresponds to that container, and here in the Edit Storage Container menu, at the top, we can change the display name of the container. You can change the dimensions, labeling, and fill order of the box. Your ability of doing so once specimens are stored is limited, and we see specimens are stored here in the 2D representation as we have two positions highlighted in gray. We can see the specimens that are contained within the box. As you highlight them in the list, they will highlight in light purple in the image above. If you click the Edit button over to the right, it will take you back to the Edit menu for the specimen that we were just in, or you can change the position by clicking within the position field. You can add a comment to this container and it will apply to each specimen contained within, and any changes you make, you can click the Save button. We have a new feature in web, the Consolidate Container button. If you have spaces available within the container, clicking Consolidate will collapse the box and free up the spaces starting at the bottom. We have several reports that are available here in the drop-down menu. We have our Storage Detail Report, Container Report, and Empty Storage Location Report. Please see our video on the reports that are available in storage separately. At the rack level, if you click the Edit button, we have many of the same functions that are in the container menu, except they apply at the rack level, such as the rack name, the dimensions and setup of the rack. We have a 2D representation of our rack. We have a list of containers that are within the rack. You can change the position of the container here by clicking in the position field. If you click the Edit button over to the right, it will take you to that Edit Container menu we were just in. And you can also apply a comment using this field here, and it will apply to all specimens within that rack. Any changes you make, be sure to click the Save button in the bottom. And we have two reports available at this level, the Storage Detail and Empty Storage Location Report. At the shelf level, clicking the Edit button, the same functions at the rack level. You can change the name, dimensions, and then the positions of the rack. Just as the edit menus have different functions depending upon which level you're at in storage, the drop-down menu has different offerings depending upon where you are in the storage tree. And we're going to start again at the specimen level. Here in the drop-down menu, we are able to mark the specimen to ship. Clicking this will turn on the Mark to Ship flag. It's not a requirement to ship the specimen through the shipping module, but it does allow you to find the specimen using the Mark to Ship flag and filter combination. Mark the item to ship. You can set an intended lab, an intended ship date, and also set a category such as batched, monthly, other, or weekly. Click Save, and the Mark to Ship flag will appear on the specimen. We're also able to print labels. So selecting this will print the label for this individual specimen and remove this specimen from storage. By choosing this option, we can, at the time of removal, also set it to unavailable, change the condition code, or apply a comment if there's a reason that the specimen should not be brought back into storage again. Simply clicking the Remove button without setting it to unavailable will remove it from its current storage position, but allow you to add it to a different storage position. Using the drop-down menu to the right of the container name, you can store specimens using the Store Specimens menu. But remember, you may also store specimens by simply clicking the box name and using that barcode. You can assign a test to all of the specimens within that container. You can change the condition code for all the specimens in that container. This option does require a challenge code and response code combination. You will contact user support, supply them with the challenge code, and they will return with the response code. You may change the condition code, comments, and set all of the specimens within that container to unavailable at this time. What you place into this menu will apply to all of the specimens within the container. You can change the frozen date and time for all the specimens in the container. Simply highlight, apply a new frozen date and frozen time. Click Update. It will update in the grid and save those changes by clicking the Save button in the bottom center. You can mark this container to ship, which will apply that green Mark to Ship flag and allow you to find this container with the Mark to Ship filter. And you may print labels for all the specimens within that container, or delete this container, which will remove all those specimens from their current storage position, allow you to store them somewhere else, or you can set those specimens to unavailable at that time. At the rack level, you may add a new container to the rack, and we see the same options we had at the container level, changing the condition code, changing the frozen date, time, and processing tech information, marking this rack to ship, printing labels, or you can delete. And all of these options work at the specimen level, so they affect all the specimens within that storage item. At the shelf level, we can add a new rack, change the condition code, set the frozen date, time, or processing tech information, mark that shelf to ship, print labels for all the specimens within the shelf, or delete the shelf. So thank you for taking this time to watch the video. If you have any questions, please contact our LDMS user support department. They're available 24/7. The contact us information is on our webpage at LDMS.org.